You don't need to go keto, cut all carbs and dairy, or work out 6 days a week to see results with PCOS. As a dietitian with PCOS myself, I want to share with you today 5 simple habits that will absolutely transform your PCOS and help you feel more energized, have better blood sugar regulation, and better and more consistent periods without all the stress. Here are 5 low-lift, high-impact habits that I do every day as a PCOS dietitian that have made all the difference for me, and I think they'll do the same for you. In fact, they're evidence-based, so I know they'll make a difference for you. If you're new here, hello and quick welcome. My name is Katie. I'm a registered dietitian and certified personal trainer in the PCOS and blood sugar management space. So if that topic interests you, I'd love for you to check out the other videos on my channel so I can help you manage PCOS and blood sugar easier, better, and without restrictive dieting. Without further ado, let's go through 5 healthy blood sugar hacks that I use every single day as a PCOS dietitian. Number 1, fiber and protein at every single meal. I like to shoot for at least 5 to 10 grams of fiber at every meal and about 20 to 30 grams of protein, give or take. This of course can vary based on how many meals you're actually having in the day. So if you have only a few meals during the day, then you might have a larger number than this. But if you have small, consistent 5-6 meals and snacks total per day, this is a good average. A good rule of thumb is if you're aiming for about 25 grams of fiber to 30 grams, divide that up by the number of meals and snacks you have in a day and just make sure you get at least that number in each meal and snack. Carbohydrates are something that you want to have in your diet, but you want to have the right type of carbs. So if you're having low fiber carbohydrates, you're going to have a quick blood sugar spike, which will give you energy initially, but then it's going to drop back down pretty quickly. Versus if you have carbohydrates that are whole carbs like whole grain breads or veggies and fruits, those are gonna have fiber in them to slow down that glucose spike so you actually get energy, but then you maintain that energy too. In addition, we wanna have protein because it has a similar effect. It has a slower thermogenic effect. So in other words, it takes our body a little more to break down protein than it does things like simple carbs and other types of carbs. And therefore we have more steady energy from protein. But again, you wanna have both for optimal energy because carbs are going to be quicker energy and protein is going to be more maintenance energy, and both are used for different things. Let me know if you want me to go a little deeper on that or if you have any questions in the comment section below. Habit number 2 that I try to follow every single day as a dietitian is to do a little walk or a little movement after every single meal. Now, of course, there are some times where this isn't gonna happen, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but especially after those really big meals, I want you to aim for having some type of movement. So that can be anything from going on a walk with your family, or if you're going on a dinner date with your spouse, you can do a little post-dinner stroll. Walking after a meal helps our body to process insulin and glucose better. So it's gonna help your body bring down that glucose spike a little easier so you're not having, again, that spike and crash. And what if I can't go on a long walk after a meal, Katie? Like, what if that's just not possible? Well, actually, you can do a couple alternatives. For example, if you're in the office or you're at home, you can do a quick tidy after your meal. I know I need to clean my house more than I have been lately with 2 young kiddos at home. I have a 7-week-old at home and also a 21-month-old. So it's been crazy. So mommy has not been doing that quite as often as she should, but nonetheless, you can do any activity like cleaning for 5 or 10 minutes, and that counts as non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is a long word to just essentially say that you're moving and doing activities that burn calories without actually like doing solid exercise or anything. A recent study also showed that squatting was equally as effective at lowering blood glucose and insulin after a meal. So you could just do a couple different sets of squats after a meal, and that counts too. And you can do that anywhere, whether you're at the office or you're at home or out and about, just going about your day. Arguably, there's probably some places that might not be appropriate, but usually you can either walk or squat, one or the other. And don't discount the effects of exercise on blood sugar, because although food makes a huge difference, exercise is also a key player in lowering glucose levels and helping you maintain a good A1C in the long term. If you're enjoying this video, then I'd love for you to check out my links in the description. I have everything from my favorite fitness equipment for PCOS and insulin resistance, and my favorite supplements and supplement companies that I really truly love and that are GMP certified. I also have a free 1-week PCOS meal plan that I think you'll love the recipes in, so check that out and download it below. And since I love hearing from all of you, I'm trying to do more of like a question of the day every single video so I can actually have a conversation with you guys. So let me know in the comment section below whether you have PCOS or insulin resistance. What is one habit that you like to incorporate in your day for better blood sugar? Let's learn from each other and share our strategies in the comments. That was like a really nice octave there, Lainey. Habit number 3 that I try to abide by every single day, and honestly, this is like key for me, is to have a little dessert, if I'm gonna have dessert, at the end of the day versus earlier on. And this has been a really big tweak for me, because I think before I was really into like intuitive eating, not having any sort of food rules, and I'm still into intuitive eating for the record. However, I think for me, and just thinking about my PCOS strategically, I abide by this rule because it helps my blood sugar so much, and I notice that it just makes all the difference in how my energy feels. And that's a big enough thing for me to kind of avoid my no rules rule for at least this one strategy. I'll give you an example of how it used to go for me. Usually after lunch, I would always have really big carb cravings or craving for something sweet. I had to have something sweet after every single lunch, like without a doubt. And again, I'm all for eating intuitively. There's nothing wrong with having a sweet tooth after lunch, but I was finding that this was just leading to me eating excessive amounts of sweets all throughout the day, versus if I aimed for the end of the day to have that sweet treat, I would have a sweet treat once a day, and it kind of leveled out my blood sugar, so I wasn't feeling this crazy spike and dip of blood sugar and then hypoglycemia and then needing a sweet to compensate for that. So we are not for dieting or super mega food rules here. However, I found that this one rule just really helps my energy. So let me know if you try it out in the comment section below. I'd really love to hear if this works for other people too, or if it's just kind of like a me thing. Tip number 4 is honor your hunger, don't fight it. So I know we said that there are some things that are just going to help your body naturally eat more mindfully, like having dessert at the end of the day versus at the beginning of the day, but we still want to honor our body's natural innate hunger when we're managing our blood sugar well. I know it's very confusing because a little bit of it is unintuitive and we have to kind of learn what our body needs to be at the level that we're functioning optimally and our blood sugar is steady so that we can make the right decisions. But then once we're functioning at that normal baseline, then we want to listen to our hunger, like throughout the day. Does that make any sense? Am I confusing this message, or is that clear? Please let me know. So in other words, don't go long stretches without eating. Don't try to push away hunger, because hunger is a natural thing that our body does to encourage us to eat food so we can function throughout every single day of our lives. It's not a bad thing. I think there's been so many media messages that misconstrue hunger and label it as a bad thing. It is literally what our body is meant to do. If you're constantly having to fight the willpower to not have certain foods, I would reassess, are you really getting enough calories during your day? Because chances are you probably aren't. I talk a lot more about this in my PCOS course that is in beta launch right now, so check out more details on that in the description below. I'm really excited to get all the modules out so I can officially launch it, but there is a special beta launch price right now if you want to join early, so check out the description below if you want to learn more about that. Habit number 5 that I abide by is taking my daily supplements and taking the right supplements, not just like any random herb that the internet says is good for PCOS. And I want to really emphasize here the right supplements, not just any supplement and not every single supplement that you see on the internet. And while supplements don't always have a good rep and don't have a lot of funding as much as pharmaceuticals for things like PCOS, there's actually a lot of research on insulin resistance and some supplements that help with that. So if you are interested in learning more, I definitely want you to check out my video on the top 5 supplements I recommend for PCOS, which you can check out right here on the screen. Click or tap the screen to head on over to the next video, and I will see you there. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.